Hi, I'm Kristal Jensen, wife to Mark and mother to Samuel. I grew up in a family that attended church here at Hope. I went to Sunday school off and on. In middle school and high school, I kind of drifted away from the church a bit. I never had a personal relationship with Jesus. And once I graduated, I completely stepped away from the church altogether. And it wasn't until 1994 when I met Mark that I found out that he had accepted the Lord as his Savior, and he asked me if I would like to do that too, and I agreed. And so one night I sat down with the same friend that Mark had accepted the Lord with, and I walked away that night feeling joyful and so many burdens lifted off my heart and off my shoulders, and it was just an amazing feeling to have that relationship now with Jesus. And in 1995 we married, and after 2 years we decided to start adding to our family. But after a 6-year emotional journey due to my infertility, I got to the point that I started blaming God. I felt like I was being punished, and I became angry, very jealous and judgmental towards other women when I would find out they were expecting. I kind of put a wall up, and I didn't want to hang out with anybody, really talk to anybody, and let alone attend church anymore. And so I knew I needed to do something because I was just full of hate and my heart was just full of bitterness, and that's just not the type of person I am. And so I sat down one night and grabbed my Bible. I turned to one of my most favorite books of the Bible, 1 Samuel. And while reading that, I was reading the story of Hannah. And I started feeling a connection to her. As the Lord had closed her womb, He had closed mine as well. But little by little, He had started opening my heart to the decision to start the adoption process. It took about a year to start the adoption process. We started it in 2003, and I took that leap of faith and I sent in the first form along with $100, and it just immediately I got a response back with paperwork, and our social worker called us, and throughout the summer we didn't really hear much from her. I was starting to get worried, but I realized that happens. I have to be patient. And then in August, I believe it was, we got a letter in the mail from her saying changes were being made in the office, and people were being let go and all of that, and my heart just sunk. About a month or so later, we got a phone call from Bethany Christian Services and told us that to come back to Orange City and meet our second social worker. And then we had our home studies and our family visits, and we put together our portfolio and our video, and there were a couple times that we were called that someone was interested in us, but then it all fell through. And it wasn't until the middle of May, I was home from work, and that morning I went outside and I was doing some gardening, and I thought, well, I'm gonna go in and take a break. And I sat down, and all of a sudden the phone rang, and it was our social worker, and she said, "Kristal, how would you like to be a mom?" And first I didn't say anything. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" She said, "Yes, there is a baby in Memphis, Tennessee that needs a mom and a dad." And so in April of 2004, our Samuel was born miles away in Tennessee. And as he was placed in my arms at 8 weeks old by his birth mom, I knew that we had chosen the right name for him before I prayed for this child. and the Lord granted me what I asked of him. I know for a fact if I had not accepted the Lord as my Savior, I don't believe that I could have handled my adoption road and my infertility as well as I did. I believe everything happens in God's time, and He has amazing plans for everyone. If you just take the time to accept Him into your heart and have that personal relationship with Him, and just see the amazing blessings He can do in your life.